Start your day with New Center 5 Eye Opener, weekdays at 5 a.m.
Today, our champion, Scott Rondelli of Billerica, Massachusetts, faces the challenge of Andy Durand of Ware, Massachusetts, on Candlepin bowling. Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to Candlepin Bowling. I'm Don Gillis, and I'm glad you could join us here at the Fairway in Natick, Massachusetts for 3 strings of Candlepin Bowling. Total pinfall, of course, determines our winner. Each of the bowlers will take home a permanent souvenir from the Ace Trophy Company of Boston, something tangible they can put on the shelf. We also have guaranteed prize money that they can put in their pocket, $1,200. $700 goes to the winner, $350 goes to the runner-up, $50 available to the winner of each string. Those of you who are familiar with the program know that there are many other opportunities for our bowlers to get a little bit more money. You're going to hear about them. I'll try to remind everybody as the program goes along. But first of all, let me tell you that we have some gift certificates here. There are 4 of them, $50 gift certificates for men's clothing from Eastern Clothing Company of Watertown, to the winner of each string, though that will take care of 3 of them, and to the runner-up today. This one must be earned from True Value hardware stores and home centers. It is a $50 gift certificate to our marksman of the day, the bowler with the most marks. Okay, let's talk to today's bowlers, shall we? Now, Andy Durand, you have to tell me something. You have stayed away from this program for 20 years. I want to know why.
It wasn't on purpose. Well, I did change jobs, made it a little more difficult for me to get to the roll-offs. Plus, you know, it's difficult to get on anyway. And
no, it's easy. It's easy.
Finally, I got back.
Yeah, it took you 20 years, huh? Well, let's see. What are you got some? Hey, not bad. 120, huh? That's pretty good average right now.
Not too bad. I've been bowling well.
Okay, good. Well, you're going to have it.
That's
This,
for
I'll
sure.
tell you. Yeah, this is the new breed here in Scott Rondelli, who has 2 victories under his stomach after all the time that you came in some of these roll-offs and didn't make it, and then bango, you come on and you did what very few people do, as you well know, and that is not only to win the first time, but also to repeat. Huh?
Repeat, yeah. Usually people come on and they don't have the luck that I had.
Okay, you ready? Got your muscles flexed? Okay, good luck to you. Good luck to you. We'll get underway right after this.
Candlepin Bowling is sponsored in part by True Value Hardware, your store of first choice.
On the line, ready to go, Andy Durand of Ware, Massachusetts. And he gets everything except the kingpin. So, let's see. Too bad. That piece of wood has come right in front of the 5-pin. That makes it very tough. But he got it. That's the only way he could do it. You had to go to the right side in order to push the piece of wood into the 5 in order to get it. I've already told you his current league average is 120. He has a high single of 180 and a triple of 447. Just 3. And now he's left with a 1 and 3 to try to get a 10 box. He's representing the Monson lanes. It's a 9. Scott Rondelli is defending a championship which he won a couple of weeks ago. He defeated our then champion. That's the way to start. It was not a hammer, but up on the board, it's still a strike. He defeated our then champion Joe Carchidi 2 weeks ago, 372 to 346, and last week defeated Joe Willett Jr. First ball gets him 6, but leaves him with a very, very tough leave because he has on a parallel plane the 5 and 6, and behind that the 9 and 10. Now there is a piece of wood which is coming over and is resting against the 5-pin, so that may make it possible. Let's see what he does with it. Nope. He was able to get the 5 and the 9. So the 6 and 10 are still there. Andy Durand comes up again. I mentioned that it was 20 years since he made his first and only appearance on our show previous to this. That was November 1st, 1969. He rolled a fine 347, but he was facing a bowler then who we have not seen for a long time, but who was then one of the hottest bowlers that we had ever had on the program, Don Patchell. Half Worcester left. And he comes back again and makes a spare. Bruce Goldman is running our computer scoreboard today, filling in for the vacationing Al Giglio. Keith Williams is keeping score on the big board for the benefit of the gallery that's here, and it's a good one today. Now Scott Rondelli, the left-hander, fires, and he has a spare leave. The 1, the 2, and the 4. Got 2 of the 3. Scott has a league average of 123, a high single of 210, and a triple of 479. He had a 681 in winning his roll-off. Andy Durand had a 692 in winning his. Very close to a strike. And he misses the single pin, which could have given him the spare. Scott is employed as a car hauler and is single. That brings us to 4 boxes of the first string, and Andy Durand still has a bonus ball to throw. At the moment, it is Rondelli 46 and Durand 39. Challenger back on the line, rolling now in the 5th box of this first string, working on a spare. And he picks up 6, leaving the 4 horsemen left side. Missed the head pin, so he'll be trying to get it for a 10. Nine. Don't forget our championship show, 6:30 p.m. on August 26th. And he had a perfect spare leave, and he just missed it completely. Today, next Saturday, and the following Saturday, because yes, we will have a noontime show on August the 26th. We have 3 more opportunities for somebody to move into our True Value Championship. As you know, it's the 5 bowlers with the highest 3-string total since our last championship show. Scott Rondelli punching out on the right-hand side. Tom Ulster is still our top seed with his 444. Steve Reno, 437. Det Klein in third place with his .433. Jim Kelly in fourth with his .432. And Jeff Atkins with a .426 is in fifth place and is obviously the vulnerable one. Our alternate, Dick O'Connell, who won it the last 2 years, won the $10,000 first prize. He's the alternate with a .425. So there's a bit of tension as it's getting down to the last 3 opportunities. The tension primarily, of course, rests with those who are on the board right now and have been for weeks. Nine. One pin separating our bowlers, and Scott Rondelli leads by that single pin. Andy Durand, our challenger. Our crew today, Dick Erickson, Chris O'Hare, Roger Rice, Skip Peabody. Don Riley is our statistician and coordinator. Bill Rubin, of course, is our producer and director. And Ralph Stewart, of course. There he is, right at the lob line, our lob line judge and referee. Nine box. Scott Rondelli, hoping in these final 4 boxes to pick up the pace that he began with when he threw a strike the first ball, but since then has been unable to get another mark. Scott was alone for a while with the, I mentioned he has a high single of 210. That was in the World Candlepin Bowling Congress, and it was a Pro Tour single game record of 210. He had it for, oh, I don't know, about 3 months, I guess. And then Maine bowling star Charlie Milan III pounded out a record-tying 210. So 2 men share the high single of 210 in the World Candlepin Bowling Congress Pro Tour. He's working on the 2-pin and the 10-pin. There's a piece of wood off to the left, but probably will be out of play on the 2-pin. Just missed it. Ralph Stewart calls time. He has a pin that appears from here to be this side of the deadwood lane. Now it's rolling in and out, and he's just waiting for it to settle down. It's inside the deadwood line. So, no, it was a distraction, actually. He went between the pin and the standing 10-pin. They are tied at 81 after 8. Just 1 mark so far for Scott Rondelli, the first ball he threw, and 2 spares for Andy Durand. Is he going to get another? Nope. 10-pin didn't go. So it appears we won't be breaking any records with the first string. Waiting for wood to settle down. A 10. Final box now for our challenger. Is he going to get a strike? Nope. He has to knock down the 9 pin in order to get a spare. Missed it. He was distracted, and I'm sure, because there is a pin on an angle in front of it, and it actually was a roadblock, as was proven when he just hit it. And the pin that was lying down went one way, and the pin that's standing stayed standing. Obviously, I'm doing this description for those of you, and I know that there are many of you now from the mail who are unsighted or have limited sight. 4 horsemen left side, the 1, 2, 4, 7. That's what Scott Rondelli, the left-hander, is looking at for a spare. Is he going to get it? No, he punched out the 2 pin. It's an 8 and 89, so he will need a mark in order to break 100. Finds himself down by 2 pins through 9. That one went way off to the right. There are 5 pins clustered right in the middle. So he will not break 100. And as a result of that, the first bonus money goes to Andy Durand. Andy Durand picks up $50 in bonus money and also a $50 gift certificate for men's clothing from Eastern Clothing Company of Watertown for winning the first string by 1 pin, 100 to 99. In the middle string, our defending champion leads it off. Here is Scott Rondelli. As those of you who can see have already determined, and those of you who perhaps are relying on your hearing, you can tell just by the sound that Scott Rondelli is a fastball bowler. He got everything there except the 7 pin. A 10. He's not getting the good spare leaves. Right now, he's left with the 1 pin, the 7, and the 8. 1 piece of wood on an angle sort of between the 1 and the 8. He made it! Spare in the second. Now Andy Durand. Today's challenger. 2 full on the head pin. But instead of winding up with a total spread eagle, he's left with the 3 on the left-hand side and only the 3 pin on the right. And he made it! Very, very pretty spare. As he used the wood which was to the right of that 3 pin, pushed it over and got the 2, 4, 7. Nice spare. Bonus. Gets 8 and a spare leave. Got a break. And missed it. He had wood right across the 4 and the 7, but he went a little too far left, and as a result, the wood spun into the 7 pin and left the 4. It turns out to be a 9 box. All right, let's see now what Scott Rondelli, our defending champion, can do with this spare and see if he can start maybe a string of spares or marks of some kind? Let's see. Got a big break here. The fill is 9. He's left with 1 pin. It's a 9-pin. However, there is a cluster of 1, 2, well, there's 1 piece of wood off to the right, and then there are 3 that are just about where the 1 and 2 would be. And they're on some strange angles. Now, the question is, will he be able, once they settle down, if it stays like that, he probably will be able, because there's one that's kind of on an angle towards the 9, if he can get at it. Otherwise, it's going to divert the ball, and he won't. He got it! 2 marks in a row, and just about everybody knows that 3 marks in a row, any combination of strikes or spares in the same string, is worth a bonus of $50. And he has an excellent chance because he has 1 pin to get with the 9-pin, and once again he has some wood that, oh, he wants that wood to get out of the way. Got the 9-pin there for you who can see it. It's going to be tough to get at that 9-pin. Head on. He got it. So 3 marks in a row for Scott Rondelli establishes a bonus of $50. Now each consecutive mark in the same string, as long as he can keep it going, will be worth $50 apiece. Andy Durand. He's got 4 and 5 side by side and 7 over to the left. Each bowler now with $50 in bonus money. We almost had a slow motion spare. He got the 5 to topple into the 4, but not into the 7. Nine. He was unable to get that 7-pin. Strike! And once again, we will break, as we always do, after 4 boxes in the first and 4 boxes in the second. Andy Durand will have 2 bonus balls to roll. Scott Rondelli 1. So with pins already down, the score is Rondelli 58 and Durand 46. Scott Rondelli, after 3 marks in a row, here's another bonus ball. Trying to keep it going. 2 full on the head pin. He gets 5. His object pin now becomes the 2-pin because he has 2, 4, 7 over on the left, and on the right it's the 6 and 10 with wood in front of it. Can he kick it over? Oh, nice try. He got the 3 on the left. So the bonus streak stops right there. Scott made $150 in bonus money 2 weeks ago, and last week he made $250 in bonus money. It winds up as a 10. In completed frames, he has taken an 11-pin lead at the halfway point. But, of course, Andy Durand has 2 bonus balls to roll on his strike in the 4th. Now Scott faces 3, 6, 10 on the right, 7 alone on the left, and a couple of pieces of wood to the left of the number 3. Well, he didn't get the 7 with it, but it wouldn't really have mattered much. It would have been just more frustrating because the 10 didn't go. So he now has 7, 10. And he picks off 10 for a 9. Okay, Andy Durand, our challenger, comes up, and he has 2 bonus balls to roll on a strike in the 4th. He has 2 strikes in a row, do. And for those of you who don't know, here on Candlepin Bowling, 3 strikes in a row is worth not just $50 for 3 marks in a row, but an additional bonus of $1,000. Let's see what he can do with it. No, went off to the left. The ball did not strike the head pin. Can he make a spare of this? Nope. He's got the center diamond, and he got everything but the head pin. So the head pin thwarted him. How about that word, huh? Where did that come from, Donald? Scott Rondelli. An unusual combination of pins up. He has the 3, the 5, and the 7. Got the 5 and 7, but the 3 is still staring him in the face. A 10. Ralph Mayo of Holden, Massachusetts, sent me a card and said, "Where are candle pins made?" That's a good question. I imagine they're made in several places, but the one that I'm most familiar with would be the Garland Manufacturing Company in Saco, Maine. Everybody cheering as the 10-pin went down, leaving Scott with 3 pins to shoot at, the 2, 4, 7. The 100% high-impact Garland plastic candle pins made by Garland Manufacturing Company in Saco, Maine. Too bad, too full on that 2-pin. Speaking of the pronunciation of that fine little town in Maine, radio announcers in New England, such as I was at one time in my career, learned very early that that is pronounced not the way it's spelled, S-A-C-O, but Saco, or else you get a Saco letter. Andy Durand. Some of the other little ones that we announcers used to have to learn. Of course, if you grow up in the area, it sure helps. But I used to feel sorry for some of the guys who would come from another part of the country and suddenly have a story coming out of Leominster. That usually came out Leominster. And then, of course, W-O-B-U-R-N, which looks as if it should be Woburn, and of course is not, Woburn. There are a lot of them. 10. In the area where I grew up, in the New Bedford area, there is a suburb which is called Paidnerum. That's how we pronounce it, how the people there pronounce it. But the way it's spelled, as one young announcer on the station I worked in that time said, Padanaram. All right, Scott Rondelli had a 10 and then a streak of 3 consecutive spares, then a 10, and now he had a 9, 10, 10. So basically, in only one box, the 6th, has he failed to knock down all the pins. But what he wants to do is knock them down with 1 or 2 balls. 4 horsemen left side, and in the back, he has the 5-pin, which is kind of an unusual combination. And everything went except the 4. Remember now, Scott's league average is a 123, and right now he's at 111. He thought maybe he had the big hit, but instead he gets the old Woolworth, the 5 and 10. And nope. So the best he can do will be a 121. It's a 120. It also means that his challenger today, Andy Durand, can win the string without a mark. And right now he has an opportunity to pick up a mark. He has the 2-pin to pick up for a spare. And he has it. Spare in the ninth. 114 plus. Half Worcester left. That wins him the string, and another $50 gift certificate for men's clothing from Eastern Clothing Company of Watertown, and another $50 in bonus money. A 9, and he finishes with a 125. So, as a result, the score after 2 is challenger Andy Durand of Ware, Massachusetts, 225. Scott Rondelli of Billerica, Massachusetts, 219. Third string gets underway as our challenger, Andy Durand, leaves it off. As the 3-pin topples, he's left with the 1 and 7. Nice shot as he kicks the 1 over and gets the 7. Once again, he comes left side and punches out the 2 and 8. Now he goes to the right side of the head pin and punches out 3 and 9. So it's a 4-box with a 2 for a fill on the spare. Now Scott Rondelli. Scott Rondelli way underneath his average, which at this moment should be, if he were just rolling his average, would be at 246. He's at 219 after 2. And he is facing the 3, 6, 9. And there's wood in between, wood to the left. If he hits it right, nope. He was spooked a little bit by the fact that there was a piece of wood right alongside the 3-pin, and he was afraid that it would deflect the ball and he would not be able to get at it. And as it turns out now, he fires at it and he does get it. So it's a 10. A split, 4-7, 6-10. What a shot! Oh, yeah, take another look at that. The wood sometimes can be a roadblock. Sometimes it can be something that you can use, and Scott Rondelli used that beautifully to get the 4-7, 6-10. What a shot. One of the prettiest things you'll see in Candlepin bowling because of the billiard aspects of the game. Andy Durand just had a spare leave with the 1, 3, and 6, and he was able not to get it all. He left the head pin. Now he has it for a 10. For a moment, it appeared like maybe Andy was going to steal a spare, but the pin that toppled the wrong way. So he's working on 2 now, and he gets a 10. So he has a pair of 10s. Oh, spare. Spare it was. Scott Rondelli now picks up 8 on his spare. And a miss. 8 was the... Eight was the fill, and 8 isn't what it is in the box. Just what he needed, a 7-10 split. There's one piece of wood, and it is rolling out about, well, we have to wait because it hasn't decided where it's going to go. If it does stop, it's going to be just a little bit to the left of where the number 1 would be. However, it's on a horizontal plane. And let's see if he can send it one way and the ball... Nope. Got neither. That's all you can do with something like that, is what he did. The 9. Andy Durand, and it is a spare in the 4th, and he's about to put a fill on it right now, which will be 5. 4 horsemen right side, and also has to work on the 8-pin. Not easy. Got 3 of them. Still has the 1 and the 8. It's a 9. Doing a little wood chopping right now. And it's a 5 box. Next week's challenger will be Dan Gallant. And Dan Gallant, for your information, is the men's bowler of the year on the World Candlepin Bowling Congress Tour. Scott Rondelli, whom you see now, and who is who is bowling right now, I should say. There you see him. Is the co-holder of the highest single ever rolled on the World Candlepin Bowling Congress Pro Bowlers Tour. He has just picked up a spare in the 5th. And a strike on top of it. So Scott is making a move right now, and he wants to be here to defend his title against the challenge of Dan Gallant next week. And a strike for Andy Durand, and Andy is basically saying to himself, you're going to have to earn it. He came close to getting 2 strikes in a row, left the 5 and the 10, but he scared them. In the completed frames, and that would bring us through the 5th box here of the 3rd string. It is a 9-pin lead in the match for our defending champion. Boy, Andy just bounced the ball off the very end of the lane and almost bounced it into the 10 for a spare. Turns out to be a 9. So he's down to check. Now let's see what Scott Rondelli can do, because he right now has a spare and a strike on it. 2 bonus balls. And the first one gets him 9. So he has the 7-pin, which is perhaps not the easiest corner pin for a left-hander, because he's going right alongside the gutter. He made it! No doubt about it. Another $50 in bonus money. And when he decided to get hot, he got hot at the right time for him. Bonus. And a strike on it. $150 in bonus money. Now you know how Scott Rondelli was able to roll 210. Guess we can say we're now seeing the real Scott Rondelli. All right, Andy Durand has this for a spare. Nope, didn't quite get it. He had 3 pins and a little triangle, but we've seen that configuration enough to call it a tricky triangle. A 10. Three, 6, 10 on the right, 7 over on the left. No wood to help for Andy. And he gets a couple of them. Eight for 101. Scott, of course, is already at 115, so he has won the match and won the 3rd string, and will pick up still another $50 in bonus money, plus a $50 gift certificate for men's clothing from Eastern Clothing Company of Watertown. Working on a strike. First ball is a thin hit. Just 4. 4 horsemen right side. Over on the left, he's got the 4 and the 8. Can he convert it? Boy, he came close. One more pin would give him a 134. Nope, 133. And he still has another box to go. So that sets up quite a match. The man with the single string, the Love, he'll have to reset. The man with the record of the highest single on the World Candlepin Bowling Tour against the man's bowler of the year on the World Candlepin Bowling Congress. Dan Gallant challenging Scott Rondelli. This will be it now. See what his final total will be. It's a 6, which translates into a 139. So Scott Rondelli put it together for the final 6 boxes of the 3rd string. And he is the winner, 358 to 326. $350 in our home viewer jackpot, and as you can see, boy, the cards have been pouring in. Look at this. It is so full. And you know, of course, when we have a winner, we empty this out and start all over again. The total today, both bowlers combined, is 684, and that means that we give 10 pins either side to 674 or 694. Anywhere in that 20-pin range would win the $350, because that's, after all, what we have here, our guesses as to what the total pinfall would be, both bowlers combined, on a day that you're hoping that your card will be chosen. We allow you to send in one per day, and as I told you, we start all over again after we have a winner. However, if I pick a card and it's nowhere near that person at least will be rewarded with several prizes. For example, these are the prizes today.
A Hyponex plant food gift set contains fine quality Hyponex care products. Grow bigger, hardier plants with Hyponex plant food. Hyponex makes houseplants grow like crazy. And Ames Deluxe pruning shears, the perfect tool to help keep your roses and other live plants and shrubs trimmed for healthier growth. They cut clean and crisp for years. And a Jovan Florals gift set. Lily of the Valley, wild honeysuckle, Jovan black orchid, island gardenia, and night blooming jasmine. Enjoy all these beautiful floral fragrances from Jovan.
Before I draw that card, I want to tell you where all these cards are addressed to in case you'd like to send one in too. It's Candlepin Bowling, WCBB-TV, 5 TV Place, Needham, Massachusetts, and the zip code number is 02192. Okay, remember, just one card per day. All right, now let's find out, shall we? Can't go down to the bottom, but I'll go somewhere in the middle here and try to dig one out. 684, 10 pins either side is what we are looking for $350. And this one comes from Mary Keating of Cohasset, Massachusetts, and her guess is 772. So next week it's going to be worth $400. All right, our high-low jackpot is up to $475. Scott, you've had 2 tries at it. See if you can do it at this time. All right, Andy, you have a try at it now. Okay, Andy, would you come up here, please? Scott will be right behind you. You get a permanent souvenir from the Ace Trophy Company that you can put up on your, wherever you want to put it, just somewhere where it can be looked at and admired. You get $350 plus $100 in bonus money, and you get 3 $50 gift certificates from Eastern Clothing Company for winning the 1st and 2nd string and also being runner-up today. It was nice having you.
Thank you very much.
See you in 20 years. Huh?
Yeah, I hope you will.
Okay, Scott. Let's see. The big trophy, and you put it together for the final 6 boxes. It was a struggle, huh?
I thought I was falling asleep up
yeah, I'm
there.
sure you did.
At first while there, I thought that double was going to hang up by Andy, but came with a 4 in a row there. And
you're the winner. That's the important thing. $700, $200 in bonus, $50 gift certificate from True Value, and also a $50 gift from Eastern Clothing. And you face Danny Gallant next week. That should be a honey. You be there too, will you? I'll be here. Bye-bye, everybody.